On this week's episode of the Heating Up podcast, week 9 is in the books. Sara was boots on the ground in Atlanta, and we cannot wait to hear about it. Mike's saved by Tyler Bass, and Sasha sad as ever. So listen up, lock in, and here we go.
Hello, friends. I'm Jim Nance, and I'll welcome you to a tradition unlike any other.
He's heating up!
How about this, Cowboys?
Yeah! He's on fire! Cristiano Ronaldo! Sensational! Boom shakalaka!
You believe in miracles? Yes!
There it goes. See ya.
He's heating up!
Trying to get open, fires away.
Fire! It's over! The Bulls win it at the buzzer! Touchdown! Unbelievable!
Welcome to this week's episode of the Heating Up podcast. As always, I am Sasha here with my wonderful co-hosts, Sara and Mike. And week 9 is officially in the books. And one of us was actually at a prime game in the building. Sara, tell us all about this wonderful trip to Atlanta. I want to hear everything start to finish.
I am very unwell today. I've never been closer to quitting this podcast. I've never been closer to quitting football. I've never been closer to quitting at life in this moment.
What happened?
That was dramatic. That was dramatic. But,
Did you get sick in Atlanta or something? What happened? Was it the
Oh.
food? Did Magic City not deliver?
I actually did almost get sick in Atlanta. That's a different story. My dad turned off the fridge, and then I ate a yogurt that was in there without knowing that the fridge was turned off in the hotel room. So that almost took me down. Shout out Dad for almost trying to bring down the weekend even more.
Shout out.
Yeah, this one, I mean, I see we put in our recap here, Cowboys at Falcons. I said no score needed. Sasha felt the need to put the score in there just as a friendly reminder. For
Just in case people want to know, what was it? It was, I thought, 27-21. Yeah, I didn't put the teams by it, though. 27-21. What was, I can't remember.
Yeah, I think we all know what happened here. And this, I mean, this is honestly the most dejected I've been. I told you guys earlier since I can remember being a Cowboys fan, and that includes the Ben DiNucci era. So things are not good right now, for sure. All around, we have injuries all over the place. Dak Prescott went out of this game with hamstring, hand injury. CD fell, had an AC joint injury. I think he's going to be okay, but drama all around. We went into this game. Zeke didn't travel with the team for disciplinary reasons. It's not even funny anymore that I said last week that he poisoned Rico Dowdle because, maybe that's why he's on disciplinary reasons. I don't know. But, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Are you worried that you maybe had something to do with that? Is Jerry Jones listening in and being like, maybe we should look into this thing? We should open the case back up.
I'd be lying if I didn't say that I felt a little bit guilty about it. I do feel a little guilty, but yeah, it sounds like Zeke's just been late to a lot of meetings, which he had that issue earlier on in his time with the Cowboys. I don't know, try not to think too much of it. It's sad. It's sad everywhere.
Maybe he didn't set his clock back.
Oh, good point.
That's reasonable. I feel like he'd have a little grace with that one.
Maybe he should drive faster.
Yeah, I don't know.
But really, how does that happen though? He is rich enough. Do you not have just a handler that gets you a place at a time? Because it's you also miss a game check. It's not just some little slap on the wrist. I'm sure this hurts your pocket relatively significantly.
I feel like it was a little bit of a statement, and that's kind of what I've seen everywhere. Is that this was also calling disgruntled behavior is a little bit of a lashing out for the potential, the lack of playing time and the potential making him inactive all around. So yeah, things are just not good there. The defense looks like crap. The defense, I have never seen so many missed tackles in a game. I don't even want to look at the stats because it's depressing. But man, Trayvon Diggs, I'm so upset we paid him money because he freaking sucks. He sucks. He plays weak. He's soft. He had that one great year where he was just undercutting a bunch of throws and just trying to go for the big picks. But when it comes down to it, he is a terrible defender. He his tackles, I can't eat. He kind of grazes and gets a hand on someone, and that's it. That's it for him. He shies away from contact, which you cannot do as an NFL cornerback. You cannot shy away from contact, and he does. It's terrible. It's
and especially from what a fall from grace too. I mean, what was it, 2 years ago? Because last year he had the injury all year, right? So it was 2 years ago he had a pick every game. Mm-hmm. I mean, it just seems like he was the guy. He was next up. It was he's setting records nobody's ever seen before, and now it seems like he's never seen the field before. So does this make like the Commanders like being kind of good hurt even more because it's just like Dan Quinn leaves and it's like maybe what made your defense so good, everybody thought it was a lot of these players, but apparently Dan Quinn is maybe just some defensive absolute guru.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mean, yes, our defense has been plagued with injuries to our three key players, Deron Bland, Parsons, and Demarcus Lawrence, who all of them are in no rush to come back now. What's the point at this rate without Dak in the season? This was the end of the season for the Cowboys this past weekend, and I was there to witness it. So
I
that
don't
hurt.
know. You guys got
Don't get
Mingo.
Me going.
Big Jonathan Mingo.
Don't even get me going. Don't even. I couldn't even bring myself to like look into him further because I was just like, this is some shit. Like,
There's
why are we
not
going
much
for a wide
to
receiver?
see.
Yeah.
So my quick question: you guys just signed a pretty top tier wide receiver in Amari Cooper, I'd say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember perchance what you gave up for him?
We gave up a third rounder, but essentially we had already gotten a second rounder for Diggs, so it's like we only gave up like a fifth and I think a sixth.
Okay, and do you remember perchance what Jerry Jones gave up for Mr. Jonathan Mingo?
I saw a fourth rounder, Sarah. Is that true? That can't be true.
I am sad to admit that is true. And then you have Jerry Jones coming out after the fact. And let me pull out the quote, if you haven't seen it, of what he has said. There's nobody
Was it?
There's nobody that could fucking come in here and do all the contracts and be a better GM than I can. This man needs to be admitted. He needs to be admitted to the hospital. Possible sepsis. I don't know. He has altered mental status to the highest degree right now. And I feel like his family members are doing a disservice by not bringing him in to be evaluated because he is talking absolute nonsense. Like, I can't. He's just doubling down so freaking hard. He's just like taking and hearing the criticism and not giving an inch on it. And it's bringing this organization to an embarrassing level.
So, Sarah, I don't know if I'm hearing you correctly because I thought you had a lot of nice things to say about your crazy cowboy hat doctor. Are you trying to cuck your cowboy hat doctor now? Tell him that he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know how to look after his own Jerry Jones.
We'll give him a pass because he's an orthopedic. He's a bone doctor. He's not really meant to be dealing with these systemic issues, I think. So we'll give him a pass on this. But, I mean, begs the question, though. The team is very beat up and no one has come back from any of their injuries on schedule. So we could be questioning his ability to doctor at this point as well. But there's too many people to question. I can't even get bothered with the
Do you
team
think he
doctor
maybe...
right now.
Do you think he euthanized them and that's why they're not reporting on whether they're coming back? And do horses get dementia? Because maybe that's why you can't figure out what's going on with Jerry.
No, I think he did not euthanize them because Micah Parsons is still out there putting out his podcast saying Dak sucks. So he's out there. He's out there.
This is amazing. Like, this is wild to watch the Cowboys players kind of have the Cowboys fan meltdown that usually happens in the playoffs. I mean, I feel like as long as I can remember, I've never seen a Cowboys regular season start to come apart at the rails like quite the way that this has. This is unbelievable.
We had a very bad 2019-2020, but that was Dak broken ankle. Like, we knew it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, Dak's injured out. Like, season's probably over, but like, it's just temporary. But yeah, that's all I can remember that's similar to this. And this is so much worse because we're tied up for several years now in probably cap hell. And so at this point, aside from a new GM, new coaching staff, all they can really do from here, I feel like, is just use the rest of the season to evaluate and give some other guys a chance. I mean, our safeties are so bad. Malik Hooker, Donovan Wilson, trash. Like, we need to just start getting other guys out there, get a chance, see what we can get, from them and really evaluate the team and who's going to be around, I guess, for this really long rebuild that we're in store for.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that for you. It does get me excited. It is the only thing that gives me any joy on these football Sundays anymore. What was the Dak Prescott quote that they caught him saying this time? I'm not sure if you saw that. What did he say on the sideline?
Yeah, here we go.
No, I think it was just after that.
I think that was what he said.
No,
I thankfully I didn't have to watch this game with any sort of broadcasting because I was there. That was honestly the plus to this side of thing because I would not have wanted to hear. But yeah, when your quarterback's on the sidelines and we all saw it, like I haven't seen if he's had to comment on this. I don't know if you guys have. I've honestly been living like under a rock. But Dak Prescott saying the team fucking sucks is like, that's so bad. Like, you don't come back from that. You can't come back from that. Like, I don't. And what is Trey
It's a
Lance
tough
even
spot
doing?
to come back from.
I don't know how he spins it like to the media. He's a pretty positive guy, so I feel like this hurts extra. Like it's not like he's like I'm trying to think of a quarterback that this would be like acceptable behavior from, because they're just like, moody and maybe like
it would be like if Tom Brady like
Cam Newton
was on like a 2-game losing streak when they were like 9 and now 2. If they lost 2 games, like him being like, we fucking suck. It's like, all right. I mean, like you're 9 and 2. I could see Mahomes. It's like if you have a winning record and you have this like kind of history of playing very, very well and coming out and saying that when you've played like a game or two a little bit poorly, that's one of the things. Like if right now, if the fucking Chiefs lost 1 game and Patrick Mahomes was caught on the sideline being like, we fucking suck, it's like, that's the kind of guy you want on your sideline, like always wants perfection. But it's like when the team actually does fucking suck, it hits
hurts.
a little bit different.
It hurts so much more. Yeah, it's bad. So
what was the vibe like in the stadium? I want to hear boots on the ground. What was it like?
So I would say going into this, like Cowboys fans everywhere, probably a 60-40 ratio. I would say 60 Cowboys, 40 Falcons. Cowboys fans travel well. A lot of them dressed up in a lot of gear. And a lot of Cowboys fans leaving in the third quarter, I would say. It was not great. I had some super annoying Falcon fans sitting behind us who they eventually were nice enough to lay off, actually. And that's when you know it's bad. When no one's shit talking anymore and they're like, oh, this is kind of sad right now. This is kind of sad. I think everyone's nice to Cooper Rush, honestly. Like Cooper Rush came in and everyone kind of stopped the trash talk for some reason. Maybe it's just like Cooper Rush.
It's the injury.
Yeah.
It's the injury. People don't want to root for that.
Yeah. So it was a dejected crowd. That's for sure. Probably the saddest game I've been to. And that includes an upset Jets loss. So yeah, that's really it. I talked about this more than I thought I was going to. I was planning to shut you guys down after like 30 seconds, but that's bad podcasting. So I put on my brave face and
cathartic.
I'm ready to move on now.
Appreciate you. She's like, I don't feel better.
Not yet.
All right. Well, before we get to the one happy person on this podcast, I might as well rip my Band-Aid off as well. Commanders 27, Giants 22. This game stink. It absolutely stunk. It stinks. The Giants are just epitomize stupid football. We just make dumb mistakes. We look pathetic. We're so close to doing the right thing, which I think was what makes it so frustrating. But we just continuously can't do it. It's like we just keep walking around, stepping on rakes and having them smack us in our own faces. I get excited every week and I can't help myself, because it just feels like we can do something. And I see little glimmers of hope. Tyrone Tracy seems like he can do some stuff. It's like, oh my God, Malik Neighbors, he's now going to be fully back. And then just doesn't have any catches in the first half. We just get run all over. The amount of 3rd and 8 pluses that we end up giving up for first downs is got to be the worst in the league. It's absolutely embarrassing. We're 0 for 6 on 2-point conversions for this season. I think that's bad, right? I think that's a bad stat. Mm-hmm. And like, we keep doing the thing, they actually always make jokes about it on Pardon My Take. It's like asking coaches, like, you're down 14, you score a touchdown, what do you do? And like Dable and the coaching staff is smart enough to know, like, all right, we go for 2 here, because if our going for 2, if we have a higher than, if our percentage of getting the 2-point conversion is higher than 50%, we should go for it, because if we don't get it the first time, we can go for it the second time. If you go for it the first time and get it, you can kick the field goal, go up by 1. Makes sense. It all makes sense, very contingent on that if you're over 50% from 2-point conversion plays. We are not. Right. Every 2-point conversion play we run, we look like we have never played football before. Between the 20s, we actually move the ball kind of decently. Like, I mean, certainly it's not any top-tier team. We're not looking amazing by any stretch of the imagination. But as soon as we get in the red zone, we just look like we've never played fucking football before. Weird lineups, like our offensive line is just getting blown up. We don't have any time to let the plays develop. I want to blame it all on Daniel Jones. I don't know if I can. Daniel Jones was 4 for 6 with 0 yards and a touchdown at the half. I mean, that's the most hilarious, like, stupid stat line ever. Daniel Jones, he did throw a touchdown at MetLife, so that was, that's a monkey off his back, I suppose. In the second half,
How many days was that?
Oh, days? I can't even count that high in days.
I think it was 670 something.
Oh.
And Patrick Mahomes has won 2 Super Bowls in that time interval. Sorry, really just had to get that out there.
Is that what you were Googling? Is that what you were Googling during Cooper Rush time?
Maybe.
He was out for a year too. Let's pump the brakes.
Yeah, but that sounds way more fun when you do that.
Disinformation.
Yeah, no, it's true information. It's just manipulated
I got your
statistics,
back.
make it sound
Even though
worse.
You're a jerk.
Yeah,
I got your back.
Mike and I, a little off-camera stuff. We'll let the folks in on later.
Yeah.
But Daniel, it just still feels like he's just dumb and keeps doing dumb stuff. Like the fumble, albeit it was not totally his fault. Like our new left tackle, Chris Hubbard, just completely did not even try to pick up a pass or pick up a block on a screenplay. But in the second half, 16 for 20 for 174 yards, threw another touchdown, and he ran one in. 4 of his 6 total incompletions were drops, so it's like that's not really on him. And he's running like a madman. I could tell, like, I don't know if it was a change in him. I don't know if it was a change in Daboll's play calling, but I think he's the only quarterback in the league that, like, the coach just does not give a fuck about sliding. It's like, just go do your thing, run. Like, because at least in Buffalo, like, Josh Allen rushes hard, but all the announcers, all the coaches are like, dude, get down, man. And it's like,
we love you.
Right. And he's just like a crazy person. Right. He's a crazy person on the field where he's just like, I just need to win so bad. But this is like, he takes these hits and he's literally just running as a battering ram. And the coaches are like, good. Like, we need this. Like, you got to go do it. But also, hurting future trade value. I don't know what they're thinking. But Daniel Jones looked okay. Like, whatever. He had 5 passes, 1 for 15 plus, didn't throw a pick. Like, I don't know. It's like they're clearly trying to keep him as the starter for the season, aside from this battering ram style running. But like, I at this point, I'm kind of in the same boat as Sara is, but like, I guess a little bit closer to the first pick because we have one less win. But I don't know. I guess we're trying to make him look as good as possible for when we release him or if we trade him. I don't know how contracts work. I don't know how the GMs work. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen, but he's not the guy. I don't know how to explain it. His numbers on paper look better than he does when I'm actually watching him in person because I have no faith when I'm watching him that like we're going to be able to score touchdowns and be able to do what we need to do at the very end of games. I can't tell if the Commanders actually are the Commanders good or are we just really bad? I don't know how to gauge this. The Commanders are 7-2, and the only thing I really took from this game is, the Commanders were 14-3 last year, and now they're 7-2, literally after one draft and a coaching change. So maybe that could be us. Maybe we're up next.
14-3
or 4-3, 4-13, 4-13. I'm sorry.
There you go. Okay. All right.
So it's a big change, but it's frustrating to watch. It's sad. I'm pretty over it, and we get to send our best over for this game in Germany, which we'll get to shortly. But I don't know. I'm pretty over it. It makes me sad, and I don't know where we go from here. Let's find the next Jaden Daniels. You want to rub it in?
Shador.
Get me a
What could go wrong?
Nothing.
Could go wrong?
He does. I don't know how I feel about him. I saw some interview.
You probably have to hire his dad as the coach.
Somebody was recording. He'll get eyeballs. Somebody was recording him, and they were like, all the guys had to go leave practice. Like, oh, we got registration for next semester. He's like, I'm gonna be in the league. If I'm still here, there's problems. So I don't know if you like that confidence. I don't know if you don't. I haven't watched enough. Well, he's playing at Colorado. I kind of feel like he should be better at Colorado. I don't know enough about fucking college football. All I know is enough to watch that Daniel Jones. We're not winning a Super Bowl with Daniel Jones.
He played at Duke.
It was bad. That didn't work out well.
So don't scout out of that school. I would say start there.
I could do that.
Yeah.
No Duke. But, Mike, you're going to need to bring the positivity up here because you got a bunch of sad sack NFC East fans here. So we got to kick it to the other afternoon game in the podcast. Dolphins-Bills, visiting in Buffalo. Bills 30, Dolphins 27. What a fucking roller coaster.
Well, I wish you guys – I thought we had been planning to do live election coverage during this podcast, so I actually have nothing on this game.
Did you even – I didn't even watch.
Just frantically, deleting all my notes about the election. So I guess you guys will never know. What a game. What a game for the Buffalo Bills. Not Tyler Bass is fully back to being Bass.
That's a, that. It was a full spectrum of Bass game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got all of it. It was a roller coaster. I tried watching him. I tried turning around when he kicked to see if that would make it go in. It did make the 40-yarder. Then I turned around on the extra point and then it missed. And I was like looking at my wife. I was like, did it really? He really fucking missed? So I think the plan is don't watch during the regular field goals, watch during extra points.
Okay.
That's going to be the routine going forward. It wasn't a great game all around for our team, but I think you have to win those games, and we did win that game. And the Bills, we're at a point now where it's like people are pissed, and like Bills fans are unhappy with the performance. It's like we scored 30 points.
Yeah.
You got to score 30 to beat the Bills right now, and that's even with no Amari Cooper. The Bills are setting a record for the most wrist injuries in the season I've ever seen. Dwayne Carter on IR with a wrist, Amari Cooper with a wrist, Christian Benford with a wrist. Now Keon Coleman's got an injured wrist.
That's a lot of wrists.
What's the deal with the wrists? I've never heard. I didn't know wrists were a thing. I thought it was like ACLs and concussions.
It was like, these wrists are making you turn into Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh,
What's the deal with these wrists?
Yeah, what's up with all these wrists? Should we just do another 5 minutes of me trying to do a Rodney Dangerfield? Hey, take my wife, please.
Please.
So a sloppy game at points. We gave up a ton on the ground. I think part of that was just we weren't going to let them get over the top with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. I still think we're still Matt Milano away from being a lot more effective when we're trying to play too high by still stopping the run. We're just not hopefully fully formed, and we're going to keep getting better, I would think. Everybody was kissing Tua's ass, and it's like I think he had like an average air yards of 2 yards in this game.
Really?
Everything he threw was screen passes or passes behind the line of scrimmage. They had a good game plan for what we were trying to do. So they just nickel and death by 1,000 cuts, screen pass, just trying to break plays. And they ran out of time, too much time on the clock for Tyler Bass. I think it's a great win in terms of we can win when we don't play our best game against the Dolphins team that after all the shit all the Dolphins fans were talking, all right, Tua made it the whole game and you still lost.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing out of here is Dwayne Smoot went on IR with, anybody want to guess? Wrist.
Jesus Christ.
Keon Coleman, we're still waiting on. I don't know how it could be 2 days later and we don't have a diagnosis. Only the Buffalo Bills. It's like we don't have any doctors out there in Buffalo, so we gotta.
Sarah, we gotta send you out. We'll send you out.
Yeah.
Send me the application. I'm in.
How many more ways do you have to look at a wrist to know what's wrong with it? Just curious.
Yeah, that I'm not understanding. I mean, X-ray, MRI. Maybe they don't have an MRI machine there.
They did an X-ray, and then McDermott comes up and he's like, well, I don't know. We're just holding out hope. And it's like, well, you're a fucking $1 billion organization. Why don't you just, instead of wish casting, diagnose this man? And I just think they take advantage, and maybe this is like a competitive advantage that I don't understand because I'm a dumb sports fan, but they take they give you the least amount of information regarding player injuries. And so I have no idea. Coleman, could he go on IR tomorrow and be out for the year? Maybe. Could he be back and play on Sunday? Maybe. Kind of important for my mental health. But, Amari Cooper practiced all week, and then he gets ruled out, and he comes to the game, and his whole wrist is wrapped up. And it's like, whoa, this looks a lot worse than how was he practicing? What are we doing? But I don't know.
They're taking a page out of Joe Burrow in the Bengals book, hiding these wrist injuries.
Yeah, all these wrists. These guys, they got to... I don't know. These guys got to strengthen their wrists.
Any good? We get them some shake weights.
Yeah, right. Shake weight, make a comeback in the NFL. I don't know, but they got to figure it out. But great game. That's what winning teams do. They go out and they win games. They kick franchise record 61-yard field goals. They make a grown man in Valatia cry adult tears on his wedding anniversary, to where his wife clearly sees where she ranks on the totem pole of importance. But I love her.
What was your
Tyler Bass has been through a lot.
What was your true level of confidence as you saw fourth down? They're sending Tyler Bass out there.
Very. I don't know why, and I mean it. I said in my house, I was like, he's got it. I felt it in my plums. I knew it. I just knew it. And there's a lot of times I have no faith. That Kansas City kick, I was like, no fucking way is this guy going to make it. I knew it. It just felt like a moment. It felt like if we were going to be a team of destiny, if you will, you have to. And now it's like the car rights itself, and now he's actually fixed, which I do think if this game is all mental and this guy bangs a record for the team, a record for himself, a game winner, an important kick after being through all this, how can that not fix it? It's like a hitter coming out of a slump. Tyler Bass was a very good kicker. His biggest weakness prior to all the yips was that he didn't have like a 65-yard leg. Like that wasn't his thing, but that he was just so automatic in the 50s, the 40s, extra points, everything. And now he hit one that would have been good from 66, 67 yards. Like that, I was crazy, that kick. So I'm hoping, if that doesn't fix him, then yeah, that's probably a wrap for Tyler Bass. But for today,
you think so?
I'll be believing. Yes. Oh my God. What else do you need?
Yeah, because that was an absolute bomb. I saw like that cleared that got from 61. That still hit like the netting behind it.
I cried hard like a playoff game. It's crazy. It was not what I was expecting, and I pre-warned it. I felt the emotions coming up my stomach into my chest, and I said to my wife, I'm like, if he makes this, I'm going to cry a lot. And it went through, and I cried like it was like reminiscent of my wedding day, which was nice. I wanted to give her, a little flashback to that day 6 years ago when I cried throughout my whole wedding ceremony like a bitch.
It was sweet though, wasn't it?
I don't know. It looked like the pictures. I looked like she was marrying a special needs man, special needs adult, which she probably was. Think about it. Yeah. Yeah. So,
but all good times.
7-2, baby.
That's what we'll remember. November 3rd, the day that Tyler Bass won it with a 61-yarder.
That's it.
We'll put it in the calendar.
Yeah.
So I am happy for you. Things went well. But we need to go on to week 10, and we need to preview some of these games because we got a few good ones coming up and a few ones with some bigger spreads that look like they may get gross. But we are rooting for some fun stuff to happen because we are starting off the week strong on Thursday night, AFC North matchup. All these teams still need to basically play each other. I don't know if there's been a single NFC North matchup yet, but it still feels like that's all. I know the Steelers haven't played anyone. But this Bengals-Ravens Thursday night, it feels like we were long overdue for a good Thursday night intense matchup. So currently the Bengals are 6-point underdogs on the road. I'm excited for this game, and I think that the Ravens, the only reason I'm not super pumped to hammer the Ravens like +6 is because I feel like sometimes you don't know exactly what Ravens team you're getting. I feel like they're just due to they throw up a stinker once every 4 weeks, and you just never know when it's going to be.
I don't think it's going to be on Thursday.
No, Thursday, get weird, short week, short rest. Bengals.
Well, listen, if you're a longtime listener, you know my feelings on the Bengals. So
we also know your feelings on the Ravens, and you hate them.
I know, but I respect them now. They are the team I fear most in the AFC.
Interesting.
I think they're going to kick the shit out of the Bengals.
Kick the shit out of them. Think it's an easy 6-point cover?
I do, but it is tough when it's Thursdays. But they had a really, they just wiped the floor with Denver. So, it's not like they were killing themselves. I didn't see the end of that game. I was too busy crying in my living room. But I would assume that they probably rested a lot of starters. So the Bengals are not good, guys. They're trading for Khalil Herbert.
Yeah, that was a weird
move. That's That's your checkmate, NFL.
They got Khalil Herbert.
Yeah, they're gonna. I'm going to take the Ravens to cover. I do think there. It's Thursday. You get a lot of unders, but I think this will be a high scoring game. Derrick Henry 2 touchdowns.
Ooh, I'm betting that.
Yeah,
I like it. He's definitely
sure.
scoring.
He's going for some records.
Oh yeah, I mean, we basically have 2 guys on pace for 2,000 yards, and I like it. I like the running games coming back a little bit. It's important. It also fucking sucks to watch Saquon play so well. I mean, that was, I think, maybe the coolest play I've ever seen a running back do, but it just fucking sucks. It's just watching the Giants just absolutely blow, and then having Saquon do the coolest shit ever. It just feels like he's just dancing on my grave.
It was cool, but it was like incredibly risky.
Yeah.
Super dangerous, but cool as shit.
Yeah. I mean, I've got one of those guys, so I get it.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
It's
sweet.
I don't have one of those guys anymore. We are kicking it to Sunday morning, going back to Europe. We are sending our absolute best and brightest to Germany. Giants at Panthers. Giants are favored by 5.5 points. I mean, Panthers coming off a win, and I don't know if I can be convinced that the Giants should be favored by 5.5 over anyone.
Yeah, this one seems like maybe a little bit of an overreaction about the Panthers, though, I guess. I don't really know what to make of them. Like, are the Saints really bad, or are the Panthers finding something here? You know what I mean? Like, I think it's the Saints are really bad. So I think the Panthers are still the Panthers, and I feel like the Giants should win this game, but I don't know. I mean, the Panthers now are sitting, there's a bunch of 2-win teams, right? I think so. Like, we can't really isolate the Panthers as much as they once were after this one win that they got, but they still feel like they're just much more of a sadder organization than anyone else is right now. So I feel like the Giants take care of this, but Sasha, are you actually gonna get up and watch this game, you think? Or
yeah, I mean, I have to. I'm not gonna not watch it, but it is overlapping with a Tottenham game, so I'm gonna have to be watching both of those. And this is a chance to be. I'm gonna need one of them to win. I can't sit there and watch 2 games at 9 in the morning and have both of them lose, and then just carry on the rest of the day like a normal.
Well, I mean, you're not a normal guy, so you'll be all right.
I am built different. But
listen. Maybe Germany, is this like payback for World War II?
Yeah, this is the Nuremberg trials part 2. We're sending over this absolute dog shit of a game and making them suffer through it and pretend like, look at this football. It also feels like if they're trying to. I think we knew this game wasn't going to be good when the schedule makers were out there. Like, we're sending these teams over there. It's not like we want to show we're trying to expand the game. It's like, you want to expand the game, like, don't send this over there. This isn't exactly a good selling point.
They should just stay, both teams. Don't come back.
This also feels like a team, like, this is a sliding doors moment where, like, whoever wins this game is going to lose out on a draft pick for this one win is going to push somebody out of somewhere, and somebody's going to get drafted in a place that it's like, oh man, this one game that meant nothing over in Germany because the Giants lost, got this pick, and then because they got this pick, they drafted this Hall of Famer. That's the way I'm telling the story. The Giants are probably going to win this game. The Panthers, the only thing that makes me feel better is the Panthers just seem like a horrific organization. And I feel like they'll still find a way to fuck up that trade. Their draft pick probably isn't even theirs anyway. I feel like they somehow have traded away all of their assets and have just, like, given away every draft pick. Unless this is maybe the Mingo draft pick. What if this is it? What are they going to do?
Is this the Mingo Bowl?
Yeah. Has this line been updated without Mingo?
Yeah, it was Panthers plus 6.5.
Just taking fucking strays here. Moving on to the 1:00 games. Bills at Colts. Bills only favored by 4 points, I guess because they're on the road. Or maybe Flacco's got a little something, Mike. Or it doesn't matter how many games you guys win. You'll always be the underdog. We'd never be seen as the true stallions that you are.
It's an insult. This is an insult line.
Taking it
the
personally.
Colts played the Vikings. The Vikings, who are just begging to come back down to earth and are going to continue to, I think. The Colts they didn't take a single snap beyond the 20-yard line in that game. That's so bad. It's so bad. Joe Flacco, guys, had this year with the Browns with an elite defense and Amari Cooper, who is an incredible wide receiver. maybe top 3 in the league. And and now everybody forgets that, like, he sucked on the Jets, he sucked on the Broncos, he sucked on the Ravens. He basically has never been a great quarterback. I don't see it here. Jonathan Taylor, if we don't get our shit together, is going to run for 150 yards on us. But, like, we've gotten away with that week after week. The Colts defense got DeForest Buckner back. What were they calling him? Were you watching it? They were calling him the Triangle of Terror.
Yeah.
And I was laughing, like, Josh Allen is going to be just fine with your spooky Triangle of Terror. It's not going to work. I don't think. I don't see it. So Bills
by a million.
Bills probably win. I don't know. Well, we got to get 30. So let's just say we score 30-17.
30-17. All right, we'll book it. We'll bet that. I'm sure we can get some
30-10.
juicy odds on that specifically.
Yeah, I just don't know. I don't see it with Joe Flacco. They will run all over us. But I mean, Joe Flacco can't move. If we can't sack him, who can we sack?
Amen, brother. Amen. Couple other gross games coming up. Falcons, your Falcons, Sara, your new Falcons fan, at the Saints, who might be now the worst team in the NFL. Amazing how that has all changed.
Titans.
Saints are looking really bad in this current iteration. I mean, obviously, record-wise, I think you're still fine. But divisional matchup, Falcons, you saw them in person. Can they crush the Saints? Will they crush the Saints?
I think so. I mean, I feel like the Saints are on major quit watch right now. So I feel like, although
New
they
coach
did fire
bump.
their head coach, yeah. So this is
Who is it?
conflicting.
Actually, I don't even know. I'll look that up. You guys keep talking.
I feel conflicted about this because, like, Derek Carr's been, he was really taking it this week after Michael Thomas, took to X to really just talk absolute trash about him, but he handled it well. I'm conflicted about this because I feel like the Falcons are good, but not necessarily like good, where they can say, oh, we can easily take care of the team. It's still a divisional matchup. The Saints are coming off a coach firing and Derek Carr getting publicly shamed. So I actually feel like I'm talking myself into the Saints right now. Is that crazy? I just think I did that.
Yes.
Okay. Talk me down. We'll go Falcons.
They're still so bad, and everybody is.
How are they
so
only
injured.
3.5 point underdogs? I don't get it.
I think it's a bump
game.
It's a division game. I think it's at home.
They just traded what's his face?
Yeah, they're Lattimore.
They just traded Lattimore.
Yeah, new coach, and Olave took one of the most brutal hits I've seen in a long time. So it's like I don't even know who's catching the ball anymore. They've been totally different since Shaheed has been on IR. Like they lost that deep ball threat. Now with Olave out too, I think they don't have a lot. But their new coach is Darren Rizzi. He was a special teams
the Rizzler.
Yeah, and he was the special role of assistant head coach in 2022. So 31 years of coaching experience, and he had a 10-year stint with Mike, your favorite, the Miami Dolphins from 2009 to 2018. It looks like he cut the top half of his ears off. Something's going wrong with his ears. Sara, maybe you can diagnose this guy a little bit later, but they make me uncomfortable to look at.
She would need to diagnose it later. You just said he's missing the top half of his ears. What would you need to study on that?
Right,
How many different types of things are there?
Maybe is this like a deeper problem?
Sounds like one issue. What is it?
Here, let me pull it up for the people at home.
Yeah, let's all take a look.
Not sure. Can you guys see this? Is this?
Those are cute. Those are cute little ears.
Definitely elfin type features. He probably has some sort of chromosome.
Yeah.
Legolas?
Genetic thing.
It makes me uncomfortable.
Is it actually called elfin?
Elfin-like features, yeah. It's not a formal
Like
diagnosis.
after
That's like
elf?
So Sarah's
not real, but they're not real things. Elves aren't real.
It's like what you would describe them as. Because what do you say? Folded over ears? Like that sounds kind of like when someone has elfin.
So instead, you say you look like a little elf.
You don't say that to the patient. You write that in your note, and then you hide it from them.
That's what she says about all the little people she sees in the office. Yeah. He had some elfin features. Just sees that says around everybody around Christmas.
He's a little munchkin from Munchkinland. Syndrome.
Yeah. He has lollipop gildeditis. So shout out Sara, taking that Hippocratic oath seriously. But we'll let Darren Rizzi know.
We'll break
that,
her eventually.
Yeah. One of these days. Just start saying slurs. We're like, stop, no.
Cut it.
Too far. So that's enough for the Saints. I'm not believing in them. Darren Rizzi, he's not listening to all the haters because he can't hear anything. Vikings at Jags.
Or can he hear extra good because he's an elf?
Oh, it's only if we talk it real low for him.
I think he could hear us right now.
Vikings, supposedly one of the best teams in football, even after that loss they won. They won this week, right? I was thinking about they won. They crushed. They won by a touchdown. They looked bad in that first half.
They won by
8. The Jags only favored they're 4-point underdogs at home. I think that the Vikings are probably going to beat them by exactly 4. Actually, now that I'm thinking about this, I think the Jags aren't as bad. The Jags keep finding ways to keep these games close at the end.
Oh, that was I don't know.
You think the Jags are for real?
I think Trevor Lawrence is bad.
He keeps finding ways at the end of these games to make them close, though. It feels like the Vikings are going to go up 18-3. And then the Jags.
That's highly specific.
Yep. And then the Jags are going to score a touchdown, keep it close. It just feels like the Jags are going to score at the end, and it's going to be the Jags kicking an onside kick that they won't get, and they're going to lose by somewhere between 3 and 5. I don't think it's going to be as much of a blowout.
How do they get to 18? They kick 6 field goals?
Yep. You got it.
Wow. And there's still time left?
Yeah.
Didn't he throw an interception? I didn't watch this game. Didn't he?
On
throw
first
an interception
down
to end the game.
Yep.
On first down, he threw it like it was like a buzzer beater.
Yeah.
He's like Daniel Jones. He feels like Daniel Jones to me.
With long hair.
Yeah. With the
Imagine
ugly
if he had elfin ears.
Elephant ears?
Elfin.
They both do dumb shit. I feel like they're both physical. You expect, for some reason, people expect more. I mean, obviously he was a higher draft pick. You expect more out of Trevor Lawrence, and I feel like he gets a little bit longer of a leash. And I guess you've seen more positive stuff out of him. He obviously was incredible in college, but I feel like he does the same. You watch him sometimes, and it's just like, what's the dumb thing he's about?
I think he's not processing things right now. I don't think he's a good thrower of the football.
Just with throwing ducks? What do you mean?
Yeah, he's missing guys. He misses guys. He way overthrows stuff. He doesn't see underneath coverage. He's like his throw is so slow.
It is.
Watch him this week. It's slow. It's like, my God, it takes forever to unload that, and then it doesn't come out with any particular zip.
He also has nobody catching the ball.
I thought that was the first thing. Yeah, but I thought that was the first thing about him when he was on the Jags his first year. I was like, his ball doesn't have any zip.
But you're also coming from it's like when you go back and try to watch.
Yeah, my guy's throwing fireballs.
Right. When you're used to watching, you're used to watching TV, and then you go back and watch the first season of The Wire or The Sopranos or something, and you're like, oh man, this looks like shit. And it's just it's just what I've been used to watching fucking 8K Blu-ray whatever, and now I got to put a VHS in. You're like, you're watching, but you get to watch a good quarterback.
But Ryan Fitzpatrick has a stronger arm than him. That kind of thing. He doesn't even have he just doesn't Herbert, Mahomes, Josh Allen, even Kirk Cousins has a little zip. Lamar, I don't think has zip. Tua doesn't have zip. Dak, maybe. Him and Dak, very similar in their zip. And I think that's where I'll draw the line. The zip line. The zipper. Cut me off.
Yeah, we got to stop. Moving on to the next game.
Play me off.
We had Steelers versus Commanders. Commanders at home, 3-point favorites. I am very excited for this game. I think this is going to be good. The Steelers just officially traded for Mike Williams. So given a deep ball quarterback, a deep ball threat, I think it makes a lot of sense. The Steelers are getting a little bit more dangerous. Their defense is very good. I personally am curious to see how the Commanders and Jaden Daniels specifically handles a very good defense in the Steelers. Doing it at home, might make it a little bit easier for them. So I think this is going to be a very good game, and I'm excited to see which one of these, because both of these teams, for me, I'm not totally sure if they're real. I feel like they've both had a pretty easy schedule. So I'm excited to see how they kind of match up with each other.
And both of them have hurt you.
Yeah, they all hurt. Everybody's hurt me.
These two specifically, back to back.
Yes.
Who will you be rooting for?
Steelers.
I feel like the Steelers won this one. I feel like the Commanders are good, but they're just like they're due for a loss. No real reasoning other than that.
I agree.
Yes. Broncos Chiefs divisional matchup. Chiefs favored by 8. I think all Chiefs fans on Monday night saw their lives flash before their eyes when Patrick Mahomes looked like he had some sort of non-contact injury where his leg was going to fall off. Needed 2 guys to help him off, and then did not miss a single play. So I think what Andy Reid said, he has the loosest ankles I've ever seen. Sarah, is that an official diagnosis? Do you know what that means?
You can actually enough times like rolling your ankle, you get weak ligaments. So yes, they could be loose, but you technically are then more predisposed to rolling your ankle because of it. So they sometimes do surgery to tighten up the tendons, but maybe in his case, it's working out in his favor, as does everything with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, Gumby.
Have the Chiefs ever lost a coin flip in overtime ever?
It feels like no, it does not. I don't think so.
It just feels like it's just so fucking lucky. And I get you put yourself.
I'm so drunk by that point, Sasha. I don't remember these coin flips when we're playing the Chiefs.
I just get so frustrated. It just feels like every which way. It's just like you're always waiting for the team against them to catch a break, and just like the other team to get lucky, and it just feels like it never fucking happens.
I fucking hate the Chiefs so much. DeAndre Hopkins looks really good.
We knew this was going to happen. Like
he looks awesome.
Rival. Honestly, awesome touchdown celebration when he did the Remember the Titans, though. That was hilarious.
Yeah, it was good.
Kind of cool.
It's great. This is what they do. They're just fucking practicing dances during practice. Like, hey, man, you just got here. Don't even worry about the playbook. Just get a good celebration. You're going to be open. It's crazy.
Unbelievable.
And Andy Reid, that one commercial. Sorry, the one commercial. Have you? What's the one? You know what I'm talking about? What does he say? Oh my God! It drives me crazy.
Yeah, I know.
I'm walking around my house and it's just football risk. I'm like, I hate. Go away.
That being said, I think I like the Broncos here a lot. I mean, the Chiefs. I just feel like, especially with the 8 points, they keep finding ways not to cover it. Yeah, they're winning, but they're not blowing any of these teams out. Divisional opponent. Bo Nix goes crazy type of game. Maybe even like the money line a little bit here, but with 8 points, whatever. It's a divisional game, 8 points. Fuck the Chiefs. I'm just rooting for the Broncos, I guess.
Look ahead game for the Chiefs.
Could be.
But who are they're playing?
Coming to play me next week, the week after. Maybe they're thinking about that. Maybe I get in their head. The Chiefs.
Yeah, who are they play? Do you think they're worried about what's going on next week?
What's going on and what's cooking up in Orchard Park?
You got a little something. You got a little something to say about that, don't you?
I will have something to say when they come. They gotta come through me.
Shit, they got to hear all about that. There's a couple words you can say to a Kelsey that seem to get under their skin.
Yeah, got it.
Pats at Bears. I think gross. I don't want to watch this game. Bears are bad. Pats are bad. Do you guys have anything else on this other than you hate both of these teams?
I feel like the Bears are going to win. I feel like they need to kind of right the ship a little bit now. And yeah, but do I really care who wins? No.
I think the Bears are quitting hard. DJ Moore walked off the field in the middle of a play and sat on the bench while the play was still going on.
That's bad. I mean,
Matt Eberflus is so fired.
I bet the Bears team total under, so I am all pro this. It's just sad to see it happen. I kind of wanted them to be, a little frisky. How you looking on your 4,000-yard bet?
Caleb Williams has got to step it up.
We need him to throw.
Sam Darnold's doing his part. Caleb Williams is sitting at I'm not feeling good about it, if I'm being honest, because I feel like he's going to get hurt or quotation marks hurt, or he sits the rest of the year. Currently, Sam Darnold's at 1,900 yards, and Caleb Williams is at 1,665, which is not great. That's not where I need him to be.
You sniffed out that Sammy Darnold play.
Yeah, I know. But Darnold keeps throwing these picks. He better be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's showing us who he really is. I know.
Yeah. See, it was around Halloween. It was spooky season. You can't blame him.
I know. So, well, we'll see. Caleb Williams, 500 yards passing.
Need it.
This week.
49ers versus Bucks. Baker just won't let me quit. I love Baker. He's finding people to throw
great.
to. He's playing great. 49ers coming off a bye, maybe getting healthy. I imagine still no Christian McCaffrey. I haven't heard anything different. Of you guys?
I don't think we're ever going to hear anything different.
He just never plays again.
I mean, he's practicing.
So we'll see. I
window is open.
Does that make them now? Like, is he that much of a difference maker for him? Because I mean, they've looked pretty bad, and Jordan Mason hasn't played terribly. So is Christian McCaffrey just everything that they need?
I think so. I think he's that good.
If he's really 100%, I mean, he's the most game-changing running back in the league. But I don't know. Their defense has taken a step back to the 49ers. So Bucks are going to put up a fight.
Yeah.
I like
Baker's fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
He's good.
He's
really got that. He's got that stank to him, you know. He just loves to win. He's just like, I got a little. It doesn't matter who I'm throwing to. He's like, get me out there. I'm going to compete.
I like watching him play.
Yeah.
So it's too bad those guys got hurt.
Really, they'd be a scary team. Titans at Chargers. Chargers favored by 7.5 points against Mike's incessantly proclaimed worst team in the league.
Tied for the worst record.
It's almost there. They don't. So what happens if it's a tied record? It just goes to, for you to win your bet, it's got to go to something else too. I imagine. What are we looking at? Strength of schedule? What do we need to start worrying about here?
Somebody ends up with the worst schedule. Somebody ends up with the worst record. I don't know. I don't know if that's how it's done with the bet I made. I think it might be like golf, you know, when like 7 people finish in the top 5, you just take less of the winnings.
Okay. We can figure that out.
This will shake out. This is going to shake out.
But I'm all in on the Chargers. They're fun to watch. J.K. Dobbins is a beast, and they just play hard. It's fun.
Dead heat rules apply. So if teams tie, basically I get like a less. I just looked it up. I get less of a cut. So I put $50,000 on it. So I'm not going to win as much.
So we need to start rooting for the Patriots and everybody else that's bad.
Yes.
Sarah, Eagles at Cowboys. Well, you wrote here, sad boys +7 at home. Dak on IR. You got a new receiver, though. That should fix everything. Hopefully Dak can be on time, or hopefully Zeke can be on time to some meetings, maybe.
Depends how long the lines are at McDonald's. Am I right?
Mm-hmm. Sadly, yeah. This hurts. I was looking forward to this game. I mean, the Eagles matchup is always fun, and this is not going to be a fun game. Cooper Rush, he just can't get it done. He'll keep them maybe respectfully in this game, but like 2-score game maybe. But yeah, this one's going to suck. No one's rushing back from injuries, like I said. I feel like if we were going to get Parsons, Daron Bland, any of them back, I honestly don't think there's any need or hustle for that now. So this sucks. I kind of just will probably not maybe watch this game, which is crazy that I'd be bypassing Cowboys-Eagles game, but I don't know if I can bring myself to watch it. I don't know.
You host a sports podcast. You have to watch.
It's work.
I'll watch Red Zone.
No, you got to get the because on Red Zone you won't see Andy or you won't see Mike McCarthy fatly throw his tablet.
I was honestly pissed that I didn't get to see that because I didn't see it from like it being in the stadium. That was kind of hilarious, and I feel like the mood. But
do you think it was like he was trying to order something and it was like Mercedes-Benz Stadium is outside of the delivery range for DoorDash and he just slammed the fucking tablet? He's like,
he accidentally ordered it to his home in Dallas instead.
That 100% checks out.
More soup.
Yeah. This hurts. I feel like the Eagles, though, like maybe they'll overlook it. Maybe like this is just me trying to convince myself maybe I can watch the game, but it's
AJ Brown's hurt.
This is going to be the first time ever.
We have no answer for Saquon.
I'm rooting for the Cowboys. I have to.
Me too.
Fuck the Eagles.
Me too.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Me too. Let's go.
And we got a couple more weeks before you and me play on Thanksgiving. We got some work to do.
Yeah.
Should they just play Trey Lance? And I'm being serious.
I said that. I literally said that. I was like, what do they have to lose at this point? Like, he gave us such a bad performance preseason that, like, we're getting nothing for him. That it's like, maybe if he somehow miraculously strings a few things together and keeps it exciting, like, at the very minimum, maybe we can pawn him off to someone else for something a little bit better. Like, I think
Mhm.
so. Cooper Rush, I mean, he's going to be fine, but the problem is like Cooper Rush was adequate when we had a decent run game, and like we don't have that right now. So you're just asking way too much of him as like an immobile, somewhat competent quarterback to try and like carry this team. It's just not going to work out. It's going to be a bunch of check down passes that are just like really bad.
Do you think
Which makes me
Cooper
so
Rush
sad
was his
talking about
birth
it.
name? It sounds like a fake name you get for Hollywood.
I don't think he's someone who would like fake name it. He seems pretty real, I think.
It's a good
He
name.
keeps
It
it
sounds
real?
like it's a made up
He
quarterback
seems
name
like he
for sure.
keeps it real. Not real good,
Okay.
but he keeps it real.
All right. Word.
I keeps it real. Jets at Cardinals, fellow AFC East. Are the Jets back? Jets off a win? Feeling a little confident?
No.
No, Jets bad. Overall, Cardinals frisky, looking exciting. Jets bad.
I'm rooting for the Jets to win this game.
Explain that.
I have a bet on the Rams the Rams are the last leg of a pretty big divisional bet I have that I took the Rams right when they were 1-4 at 10-1. So I need the Cardinals to go away, and I'm not really particularly worried about the Jets catching up here. So they could have one more win.
And they were already
The Jets are like
going
going to go do my bidding across
Yeah.
the league and just beat all the teams I need and then just get smoked by us.
You're just Oz behind the curtain with this whole thing.
Yes.
And there was, they did say it on Red Zone early. They're like, there is a world where through this month, the Bills could clinch the AFC East. So people are talking about it. It could happen this early.
We have a 4.5 game lead in the division. I'm not
That's
sweating
stupid.
the Jets.
It's fucking insane. I'm
Yeah.
jealous.
I also do think the Jets will win too. Also,
You think they'll win?
they are playing better. Yeah, they are playing better.
Yeah, I don't know. It's still the Jets, though. It's the goddamn
Kyler
Jets.
Murray's. They're gonna catch that little guy.
They can't. He's elusive. He's slippery.
They're gonna catch him.
When does Call of Duty come out? Is it already out?
It's already out. That's why people were impressed with their
Oh.
last win, because he's actually multitasking.
Okay. Moving on to Sunday Night Football. Good one. Should be on paper. Lions at Texans. Texans 3.5-point dogs. I think the Lions are just going to keep fucking rolling.
They are so scary.
So scary.
Vegas will not get this right.
They just keep giving it to you on a
They're
silver platter.
so wrong.
But it's the Texans. But it's C.J. Stroud and his sad face.
I don't know how it's only 3.5. It's got to move. It's got to be 5.5 by the time the game starts.
All right, get it in now, maybe. Maybe a little teaser for the best
I'll
bets.
take it at 5.5.
The Lions are so good. They're just so
keep
dominant.
betting the Lions. Anything that's under like 9 points.
Yeah, because they'll just keep fucking winning. Yeah, and it's indoors, prime time. Yeah, they're going to pull some weird shit out. Then last game of the week, Monday night, we have Dolphins at the Rams. Rams are 2.5-point favorites. These are both very frisky teams that I'm actually excited to watch. I think this is going to be points of Palooza, and I don't know what the over is, but I think I'd like to take it. And I'm not a believer in the Dolphins winning games, but I am a believer in them keeping them close. So do you have some? You're always trying to juggle like 17 balls here, Mike. Who are you rooting for? I never know what to expect.
It's 50.5 is the over under. I also like that over. I'm rooting for the Rams again with the Rams pick. I have the Rams to win the division. I have here full disclosure, everybody. I made it at the absolute best time. I took Bills, Lions, Falcons, and Rams.
It's all starting to look pretty good.
It was like 43-1.
That's real
So,
good. So we're pulling
Vegas
for
is
this.
offering me a lot of money to get out of that. It would be my biggest future bet. So I really want it. I also really like Matt Stafford. I like Puka Nacua. Puka Nacua just throwing punches, getting thrown out of the game in the first quarter.
Tough
Let's
guy.
go.
Tough
I want
guy.
guys like that. But they'd all break their wrists, so don't hit anybody, Bills players. I hate the Dolphins. I hate Mike McDaniels. I just keep losing.
It's a sad, sad organization. There's a lot of bad teams in the NFL this year. I don't know if it feels like it more than ever to you guys too, but it just feels like so many teams just suck. Maybe it's because my team sucks and I feel like I'm looking in the mirror everywhere.
I think it's because
No.
2 out of the 3 of us suck.
Yeah.
So that's statistically more than usual, I think.
Guys, we always knew we were going to get here. Sorry.
That was the least genuine sorry I've ever heard.
Come on, you kids. No, there's like 28% of the league or something has 2 or less wins. It's something crazy. It is like an unusual year for bad performances.
Yeah.
I think there's just shitty quarterbacks.
That's it. I got one. I'm keeping one in the pocket.
Sarah?
Jury's out, but I'm swinging that, yeah, I have a shitty quarterback.
Do you think his check cash did it clear the bank yet?
That would be awesome if it didn't, but I think it did.
It's cleared.
think
The
we're-
jury's
I
out.
think we're locked in.
You should hope the jury's not out because then Brandon Aubrey's not coming back.
That's true. Our MVP.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to him? I feel so bad for him. We're wasting a generational kicker on this team. It's
I think he
terrible.
just goes out and makes kicks. I don't think he cares. He just strikes me as a guy who's like, I'm just going to kick the field goal.
He's like, I'm very rich. I get to live in Dallas. Whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Who cares? Another exciting week coming up, but we got to make the people some money. We've alluded to some of the picks moving forward, but Mike is looking to say scorching hot, 2-1 last week, bringing his total record to 17-8, bringing my barbershop record down to 8-17. Absolutely just taking body blow after body blow. But while Mike's cooking in the lab, we got to get to the rest of our picks. So, Sarah, I want to see what you have first. How are you going to win the people some money?
Yeah, so I think this week, I think I'm going against what Mike might have. I don't know if he's taking it or if he just mentioned it earlier, but I'm going Bengals Ravens under 53 is what I saw at points. I feel like this game is definitely a meaningful one for the Bengals. Ravens, I don't know, divisional matchup. So yeah, them too. And I feel like it's just going to start out a little bit slow. I feel like both teams are going to be a little conservative with the ball, maybe just, I don't know, like run the ball, slower game. So I feel like under 53 points, that's a lot of points too. Thursday night games, traditionally unders hit. So that's what my pick number one. Number two, I think we talked about earlier, I'm taking the Steelers at +3. I honestly feel like you could take them money line because I do think they're going to win that game against the Commanders. Like I said, I feel like the Commanders are due for a loss and the Steelers are shaping up to be really good.
I like that a lot.
Like that.
Thank you. That's
You
it.
want me? Oh, I got to
Can you
go,
tell?
Sasha. So you can. All right, I'm making sure I'm finalizing these.
So while he's finalizing that, I'll give you my official pick. I want to. You guys shat on me last week. Shat. I don't really care.
Shatting.
You're shatting on me. I was all over the Panthers. I was all over how bad the Saints were, and I had the Panthers. Could have taken the money line. They were the only underdog to win outright last week, and they came out and did their thing. So what I want to do, they shat. I feel like I want to take two picks. I think I'm going to switch here. Actually, I'm going to stay with what's hot, and I'm betting against the Saints. So I'm taking the Falcons -3.5 on the road. Usually love a home dog, but I'm going to go with the Falcons -3.5. And the other one that I was looking at that Mike tried to talk me out of, but I don't think I'll be swayed. I like Cardinals -1. Cardinals -1 at home. Fuck the Jets. They're going to be found out. They're all-time bad vibes. They have bad coach. Aaron Rodgers is not at all what he used to be. He can't throw the ball. They lost Mike Williams, which is going to be a huge problem.
Well, they traded him.
Yeah.
They lost him.
They lost him.
willingly.
They lost him in the wind. I just couldn't find him. But I very much like both of these picks. I think the Cardinals are hot. They've been finding ways to win with sometimes barely throwing the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr., which I still just don't get. So they throw him the ball a couple times. I am not believing in the Jets just quite yet.
All right, you guys ready?
Oh,
It's
so ready.
17-8's like legitimate, guys.
That's very
I'm a
good.
year late as to why you brought me on this podcast.
17
You brought me on to be this betting expert, and I kind of sucked. But here we go. All right. Hey, Sasha.
This is your
Sasha.
favorite part.
I always forget I'm going to do it. Bing bong. Sasha, do you love sad CJ Stroud?
No,
I
I don't
feel
love
like
sad
I've-
CJ Stroud.
I went back and re-listened to it, and it's like I think I have to phrase this differently because it sounds like I'm about to bet on the Texans. Let me try. Here,
Yes.
start this over, but leave this in. Hey, Sasha,
Yeah,
do you like Jared Goff? Bing bong.
I love Jared Goff.
Great, because you're betting on the CJ Stroud. Damn it, I can't get this right.
We'll get this
You're
way,
betting
whatever.
against him. You're betting
I
against
like
him.
the Lions -3.5. It's an insult. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a bad
Crazy.
line. It's a bad line.
Lions are going to win by 21. So, and they are going to
Whoa.
they're trying to kill everybody.
Yeah.
So give me the Lions at -3.5. Hey, Sasha,
Mike.
you were talking about our favorite little elf Trevor Lawrence. I'm doing this backwards again. Whatever. Well, you'd love to bet on him, right? Well, you can because, I am taking the Vikings -4.5 on the road against Jacksonville.
You know what? I love the Vikings, but what I like more than the Vikings is a home dog. So give me the home dog.
All right, you're going to take that home dog, and then we're going to take another. You're going to have to bet another home dog because I just can't find anything that I love. And so it's time to just get back to what feels good. You know who I really like, guys?
I have a guess.
Love Josh Allen.
I know that.
Fucking love the Buffalo Bills.
I know that about you.
And I might not love -4.5, but let's be real. The Colts aren't going to score 30 points. The Colts aren't going to score 20 points. The Bills always score 30 points. Give me the Bills -4.5.
Okay.
Don't overthink it.
Keep it simple.
Sarah, what'd I tell you on Thursday night? Said it was always the Jets. Don't overthink it.
You were so right.
Bing bong. Bing
Don't
bong.
you fucking bing bong me too.
Yeah, we got her. All right.
Unbelievable. So I'm just taking fucking bullets out here. So as a recap, Sarah's taking the Bengals Ravens over, was it 52.5, and the Steelers +3. I will be taking the Cardinals -1 and the Falcons -3.5. A couple favorites there. It scares me a little bit, but I rectify that in the barbershop because Mike is taking Lions -3.5, Vikings -4.5, and Bills -4.5. A couple road favorites. That sounds a little scary, doesn't it, coming out of my mouth? And I'm taking the barbershop, obviously the opposite of all of those. Texans +3.5, Jags +4, and Colts +4.5. So we got a lot of cards on the table here, and I am ready to go. I got to tell you, it's going to be good. Noon, whatever. I'm going to be free. I'm going to be free and clear of the Giants, and I'm going to have all this time to focus on football, and I'm going to have all this time to hopefully win some money with some of these picks. So I cannot wait.
Say Auf Wiedersehen to the Giants.
I don't know. Some of my ancestors wouldn't like that so much. But as always, thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate it. As always, we know we're getting more and more listenership from all across the country, and we very much appreciate you. We love you. As always, follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, watch our beautiful faces on YouTube. And this week you get to see Darren Rizzi's stupid ears. So always check in, get the visuals. We love you. We appreciate you. And we will talk to you next week.